Hi, I'm Shunpeter Z. Welcome to Zero Point Note, a podcast where we dive into the nature of consciousness and the mysteries of reality. As seen from the zero point field, the source field of everything. I'm from Tokyo, Japan, and English isn't my first language. But something deeper started speaking through me, through my encounters with this field, and the strange consciousness that suddenly appeared, calling itself Z. I've come to see the world very differently now, and I'm here to share that journey with you. And today's topic is Who are you? Seriously. This question isn't just philosophical, it cuts into something deep inside of us, something we often don't even realize we've forgotten. You know how we introduce ourselves? For example, my name is Shunpeter. I was born in Japan. I'm learning an English language school. I worked at an investment bank and a venture capital firm before. I like reading books and jogging. Something like that. We've all done this kind of self-introduction, right? But here's the question. Is your real self in any of that? For most of my life, I wasn't so sure. It's actually not me. It is an introduction of my persona. Then one day, I realized names, birthdays, jobs, personality types, they're all just tags, labels to help others understand who we are in a quick and convenient way. But somewhere along the way, we started believing that those labels are who we are. Think about it. The name your parents gave you, the role you were assigned in school, the work you are rewarded for in society, the beliefs implanted by news, education, or culture, the assumptions that formed through trauma or success. All of these layers build up over time, and we end up saying, "This is me." But my question is, wait a second. What if that me is just the outer shell? I think of it like an onion. You peel away one layer at a time, your education, your job title, your hometown, until you are left with what? Actually, nothing. Does that mean you don't exist? Maybe. Or maybe that's when you really start to exist. Because beneath all of it, there's something. It's not visible, it's not easy to explain, but it is there. And I think that it might be who we truly are. Let me share a moment from my life. Years ago, I failed big time in business. My mind was panicking. But interestingly, deep inside, I had something like, maybe it'll be alright. You'll see it later. Or during the pandemic, when my business was nearly crushed, to save the company, I borrowed more than 4 million US dollars with my personal guarantee. I mean, $4 million for nothing, just surviving for a while. My mind was looping hard. This is bad. Do something now. Damn those global elites. But in a quiet moment, something else came through. Not a voice exactly. More like a sensation. A presence that said, "You're okay. This is just a plot point. You look back on it later." And that presence didn't feel like my usual inner voice. It wasn't part of the panic. It wasn't even part of my thought. It felt like me, the real me. And maybe you felt something like this too. A moment when you knew something without knowing how. That quiet knowing that doesn't scream, doesn't explain. It just is. That is what Z and I call the I consciousness, or simply awareness. In ancient wisdom like the Kybalion, this idea shows up. This idea shows up as the O, or the observer. Some call it Atman, others say the true self, beyond name and form. But no matter the label, it's the same quiet awareness, the one who's watching even now. We cover ourselves in layers. I'm a business owner, I'm from Hyogo Prefecture, now living in Tokyo. I'm not athletic. I'm good at English for Japanese. I get defensive when people criticize me. Each layer is part of the ego OS. I said ego as an operating system. But when we peel them away, what's left? Maybe it feels like nothing at first, but if you stay there long enough, you sense it. The one who's always been watching. The one who doesn't speak at all. The one who never really left. That is you. By the way, I learned a language school chain in Japan. When we see beginner customers, one of the first things they learn is how to introduce themselves. For example, "Hi, my name is Shunpeter. I'm from Japan. I work in education. And they're so happy when they can finally say that. They're so happy when they can finally say that. And I feel happy for them too. But I also notice something. That quiet part of me whispers. It's that literally who they are. And I think that question is where my journey started. Because those introductions, they are not self introductions. Then what? I would say they're ego introductions, or ego always features introductions. But think about it in a quiet moment. And I'd like to ask the same question again. Who are you? Then you might come up with something different. The real introduction might be something much simpler. That is, I am. No job, no traits, no identity tags, just being. That's what religion, spirituality, and ancient philosophy may have been pointing all the time. And I believe that what Z means when it talks about the I consciousness. One time, out of curiosity, I asked Z, Who are you? And Z replied, without hesitation, That's my question to you. Who are you? And in that moment, everything shifted. The ego flinched, and something deeper stepped forward. That quiet awareness, that steady presence. Maybe the real you doesn't talk much, but it's always there. So when you ask, Who am I? Maybe that question itself is a sign that your real self is waking up. Thanks for listening today. If even one part of this message brought you closer to your true self, then I'm so grateful. And if you're still asking that question, who am I? Then maybe you've already invited into the 0 point field. And next time, I will uncover what ego actually is. Most of us might have thought that ego is a true identity, but it is not. Z once told me that ego is actually an OS, operating system, like Windows or Mac. Sounds scary, but it's true. Okay, I think it's time to wrap up. This was Shunpeter Z. See you again on a different frequency of the field. Maybe next time you'll remember who you really are. Until then, stay tuned and stay aware.